The death of John F. Kennedy happened in Dallas at 12:25.
You're watching the first edition of BBC Television's Breakfast Time, Britain's first ever regular early morning television programme.
8 remote-controlled cameras have been installed in the chamber.
The headlines from the BBC World Service.
It's a view that we share with our audience every day, but today a unique moment with a very special royal guest.
But it's clear that Mr. bin Laden is an evil man.
You are being brainwashed by your government. Do you enjoy it? Do you even know it? The most insidious threat to our basic freedoms, such as freedom of mind and freedom of speech, is a little-known phenomenon known as mind control. Mind control is the shaping of a person's attitudes, beliefs and personality without the person's knowledge or consent. The only way to protect yourself from mind control is to understand how it functions. In this video I will try to explain how governments and many other institutions and companies use mind control on you. During this video we will also do an experiment, so keep watching because maybe at the end of the video I will be able to read your mind.
Oh my God.
The consciousness mind is your awareness at the present moment. You are aware of something on the outside as well as some specific mental functions happening on the inside. For example, you are aware of your breathing or the chair that you are sitting on. The unconscious mind consists of the primitive instinctual wishes as well as the information that we cannot access. What the conscious mind believes, the subconscious mind acts on. It works like programming a computer. You put in information and the computer will act on it. If you put in wrong information, the computer will still act on it. If a person believes something that is not true, the subconscious mind acts on it. How do we learn? What if I were to tell you that it's absolutely impossible for me to teach you anything? This has been scientifically proven many times. Everything you have ever learned, you taught yourself. People have shown you things, people have given you information, but it was your application of that information whereby then you taught yourself. Who taught you how to walk, eat, work? Think about it. A teacher told you how to do 2 + 2, but it was only when you understood it yourself that you learned it. We have grown up with the idea that we sit in front of someone and listen because they are the teacher. Who is in control of your learning in this environment? And if you don't expose yourself to this system, can you be smart? Can you learn things? During our childhood, we programmed ourselves with memories and experiences that formed who we are today. I'm sure that you can understand that the school system plays a major role in how we think. And who controls the school system and makes sure every child gets exposed to it? Right, it's your government. Cognitive dissonance makes the mind automatically reject information that is not in line with previously accepted thoughts and beliefs. Many of the things that people believe are never questioned, especially if the information comes from a reliable source. People can be led to believe something that is not true if the information is carefully timed and presented by an accepted and respected authority. The purpose of propaganda is to direct public attention to certain facts. The principles of propaganda are the same principles of mind control, hypnotic suggestion, mental programming, distraction and repetition. Distraction focuses the attention of the conscious mind on one or more of the 5 senses in order to stop conscious thinking. This induces a state of mind that is similar to daydreaming. Think about watching television, losing all sense of time and place, staring at a screen. When you stop conscious thinking and your mind goes blank, this is the hypnotic state of mind. it's something that occurs naturally, but can also be induced by clever manipulation. Think of the times you have seen flashing words on TV. These are a distraction for your eyes to lock onto in order to induce hypnosis. Any repeating light or sound pattern can lead you into a hypnotic state. A television screen appears static but actually flickers. The flicker rates can bring you into a hypnotic state of mind. A hypnotist repeats the same things with the same intonation to induce this state of mind in his subject. A hypnotist repeats the same things with the same intonation to induce this state of mind in his subject. A hypnotist repeats the same things with the same intonation to induce this state of mind in his subject. It is in this state of mind that someone is the most receptive to mental programming. Whether or not the subject accepts the information depends on two things: trust in the source of the information and repetition. Trust in the source of the information induces acceptance of the information as true, even if it is not understood. Repetition embeds the information into the subconscious so that when the subject gets the same information presented at a later time, it will be seen as true. Is it possible to program an entire population to respond to certain words in a certain way? The result of such programming would be a population that is highly suggestible. A newsreader uses the same kind of speech as a hypnotist. The eye contact made with the viewer is also used by the hypnotist. With selective use of different camera angles and video cuts, it's simple to distort the meaning of what someone says. For example, adding in a picture or an emotional expression. We are being bombarded by news articles about terrorism, full of horrible pictures and stories. Think about the word terrorism. How does it make you feel? If you trust the media, then every time they repeat this word, it will grow this feeling in your unconscious mind. You might not believe it the first time, but because they keep repeating it, eventually you see it as the absolute truth. The power of music is well understood. Music affects your emotions, mind and body. Sound causes changes in breathing, body chemistry, blood pressure and digestion. Fast music will speed up the nervous system, while slow music will slow it down. Even sounds that cannot be heard affect you. Very low frequencies can cause headaches, dizziness and fatigue. Repeating sound patterns can bring someone into a hypnotic state of mind and make them more suggestible. Reverse speech is sometimes used in music so that when you play it backwards, you get another message. The subconscious can decode and read these messages. Repetition of the message constitutes mental programming. In time, the effects of this kind of programming will appear. Subliminal perception is the process whereby you receive and respond to information without being aware of it. A message that appears rapidly or faintly so you are not consciously aware of it. There are subliminal messages everywhere around you. Marketing campaigns often use hidden subliminal messages that hint at sex. Your mind sees these messages without being aware of it and links it to the product. When you think about the product at a later time, you will have a good feeling about it because your unconscious mind links it to the feeling of sex. Even NASA seems to be using this technique. The most famous experiment was done in a movie theater by James Vickery in 1957. A message was flashed every 5 seconds during a movie, but the duration was so short that the conscious mind could never see it. The message said, "Drink Coca-Cola and eat popcorn." Sales increased for Coca-Cola and popcorn. I did an experiment with subliminal messages myself a few years ago, and I must say I was amazed at the results I got. If you want to learn more about subliminal messages and the power of suggestion, I suggest you watch Darren Brown. The military all over the world has been experimenting with different types of chemicals for decades. Most people think that fluoride is healthy and good for their teeth, but don't know it's actually a neurotoxin. Fluoride is added to the public water in most countries. Hitler added a high dose at the concentration camps. Prolonged exposure to varying levels of fluoride can cause brain damage. 49 studies link moderate fluoride exposures with reduced IQ or intelligence. 34 animal studies reported that mice or rats ingesting fluoride have an impaired capacity to learn and remember. Fluoride accumulates in the pineal gland, which is responsible for producing the hormone melatonin. Melatonin maintains the body's rhythm and protects the body from cell damage. Some studies have also shown that girls living in a fluoridated community reach puberty 5 months earlier. And this is only one of the neurotoxic chemicals. I will not even discuss mercury in vaccines and tooth fittings or MSG in your food. There are enough other videos discussing this. Do you trust your government? Why are they adding neurotoxins to your drinking water? They are doing it to make sure you fall for the mind control. Or do you think your government would never do such a thing? The government is well aware of all the different hypnosis and mind control techniques and uses them constantly, and for a long time already. Let me show you an old video of the national anthem, which was on television in the 60s.
Our national anthem.
Did you notice anything? Well, you could not because it went too fast, but I'm sure your unconscious mind noticed it. Let me play it in slow motion and look at the letters. Can you see what it says? Trust the US government. This is the full message. Trust the US government. God is real, God is watching. Believe in government, God. Rebellion will not be tolerated. Obey, consume, obey, consume. These messages keep repeating and finally it ends with worship, consume, obey, believe. The word government comes from the Latin words gubernare and mens. Gubernare, which means to control, and mens, which means mind. So it literally means mind control.
My topic today is mind control, but a different kind of mind control than you might usually think of. To me, the concept of mind control brings up the image of somebody strapped to a chair with electrodes on his head and being tortured and drugged and things like that, which is very real, and I'm sure that is a very effective way to do mind control on one person at a time. But if you want to do mind control on 100 million or 300 million people, it's going to take a while to do it that way. There is another method of mind control that is done right out in the open. It's done right in front of us, and it's not usually viewed as mind control. The way to do popular mind control, to do mind control on an entire community or an entire society, is to tell a lie to everybody all at once and keep telling them that lie over and over again until they actually perpetuate the lie themselves. If you were a control freak and you wanted to rule the world, and you had to go door to door, one person at a time, and try to convince one person at a time that he should throw away his self-ownership and his self-determination and blindly obey you, instead, you would not be a very successful tyrant. You might make it to 3 doors before someone beat the tar out of you and said, "Go away, we don't want to see you again." But if you can spread a lie to everybody at once, to the point where they don't see the lie, and to the point where they repeat the lie themselves, then you're in business. Then you have a long career as a megalomaniac ahead of you. Now, I know there are a lot of talks about conspiracy up here, and I know a lot of Americans have sort of a gut reaction of, "Oh, you think it's a government conspiracy," as if that's preposterous. Frankly, I think that's a really weird attitude. My wife and I ran a little medical transcription business. We conspired. We spent a lot of time thinking and planning how to make this business, how to make it run smoothly, how to make it so we could make money off of it. The idea that the people who like power wouldn't, behind closed doors, try to figure out how to do what they do, wouldn't conspire, is idiotic. Everyone conspires. If I was a control freak and didn't care about the self-ownership of everybody else, I would conspire, find ways to trick them and lie to them and deceive them and enslave them to my will. As it happens, I think people own themselves, so I don't play that game. But I want to talk about a type of mind control that starts with a conspiracy, but the conspiracy becomes irrelevant and unnecessary. And again, it works by telling a lie so often and for so long that your victims begin to repeat the lie. They pass it on. The teachers pass on the lie to their students. The parents pass on to the lie to their children, not because it's some conspiracy, not because the teachers and parents are thinking, "I'm going to enslave these little minds." They just think they're telling the kids what is. This is reality. This is the world. They pass on the lie because they don't see it as a lie. And that is the power of mass mind control. If you're part of the group that's been controlled and been told this lie all your life, it doesn't look like a lie. It doesn't feel like a lie. It doesn't feel like anything. It just feels like describing what is. When there is that type of lie, basically the only ones able to see it are outsiders, people who didn't go through that, or people who escaped it, who can look at the whole group that repeats the lie over and over again and say, "Wow, that's insane. How could they believe that?" But to the people inside the group, it's not insane. It's not irrational. It's not a lie. It's what everybody knows. And the power of what everybody knows is huge. It isn't what everybody knows. It's what everybody believes. And if you can get an entire group to believe something completely insane, the chances of any of them ever doubting it are very slim. Because when you grow up in a community and everybody you know, the people you love, the people you know, the people you do business with, they all repeat the lie as if it's gospel truth, why would you ever doubt it, no matter how insane it is?
I told you by the end of the video I might be able to read your mind. So let's try it. Think about something you can eat and picture it in your mind. Got it? Don't change your mind now. Is it this? If I got it right, you have to share the video. If I got it wrong, just never mention my failed experiment to anyone. Anyway, I hope you learned something from watching this video. Maybe you understand mind control a little better now. I hope to see you again. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.